Our Across the Aisle segment tonight. No collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. That, according to the report from the House Intelligence Committee that was released late last week. But after the report was released, Democrats immediately began a campaign to discredit its findings. Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff called the report a fundamentally flawed investigation, thus dismissing the findings. And this is the problem with Democrats' treatment of President Trump. They came to a guilty verdict a long time ago, long before the Mueller investigation started, before James Comey leaked his memos to the press. Liberals are out to get President Trump, and they're using these so-called investigations to do so regardless of the findings or the facts. Is that the democracy Democrats want to live in? With me now, history professor and author of Obama's America, Ian Reifowitz. Ian, good to see you.
Good to see you again, Liz.
All right, Ian, the premise of this segment is the question, is guilty the new innocent? Is that the new standard when it comes to allegations against President Trump? And I want to ask specifically about this House Intelligence Committee report, because it seems to me that the conclusion that Democrats drew a long time ago was that Trump was guilty of collusion with the Russians. To the point, it was so ingrained in their minds before they had any conclusions from any investigations that once the investigation was concluded, they don't even believe the results.
I was waiting for you to ask me a question. I'm sorry.
No worries. I mean, the question is, did they assume he was guilty to the point before they even waited for the investigation to be completed here? I mean, the results show that there's no credible evidence that the Trump campaign colluded with the Russian government at all. Democrats are still unwilling to believe that. Because of President Trump, it seems that we've gotten to a point where they assume he's guilty regardless of the facts.
Okay, no. I didn't hear you cite any Democrats saying Trump is guilty of collusion with the Russians. Adam Schiff certainly didn't say that. The intelligence report from the House Intelligence Report is an intelligence report from the Republicans on that committee. It is not a bipartisan intelligence report. The House Intelligence Committee used to be a bipartisan committee. It was a committee that, in fact, was nonpartisan, and it operated that way until very recently under Representative Mike Rogers, Republican, I believe, of Michigan. It was very fair and was very nonpartisan. But when it was taken over by a partisan hack, and I use that word, I don't like to throw that word around, but Devin Nunes is a partisan hack. He turned the entire investigation into a joke. You know that he, at one point, said, I've got some new information. Let me pause you right there. Let me finish. He got some new information, and he pretended that it wasn't the White House that handed him the information. He made it seem like, they had discovered some new information. There was like a secret, nighttime car ride over to the White House where he got the information and then pretended it was from
Is any of the information that we have found out from the House Intelligence Committee, Republicans, can you point to a piece of information that is false?
I haven't said anything that they said is false. They have said that there was no collusion. We don't know yet. Anybody who says at this point that Trump is guilty
That's what I mean.
Wait, let me finish. Anybody who says at this point that Trump is guilty, that's wrong and that's unfair. I agree with you. I haven't seen people running around saying Trump is guilty. But to say that Trump is proven not guilty until the Mueller investigation is finished.
That's the Democrats' number one talking point, that President Trump colluded with the Russians. President Trump is a puppet of Putin.
No.
That's been the talking point of the Democratic Party for the past 15 months. There's no evidence of that. I'm simply pointing out the absurdity.
Collusion is a specific legal term. If you want to say that Democrats are saying that he's acted like a puppet of Putin, that I could go along with, because you can see that from the policy decisions that he's made. But we don't yet have the results of the Mueller investigation.
Ticking off the Russians. That's really what a puppet of Putin would do.
Right. But I want to see the Mueller investigation. I think everybody wants to see the Mueller investigation. Devin Nunes and the House Republicans don't want to see the Mueller investigation because they're afraid of what it's going to say. They want to shut it down before it starts. They said, we've proven this hasn't happened. Well, yeah, I do think that's why. And I think that's what Democrats want to see too.
What kind of proof do you need? If this House Intelligence report has said that they found no evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians, and President Trump has been told that he is not a target of the Mueller campaign, and there's not been a leak, and you and I both have talked about before leaks from both sides of the aisle here, and there hasn't been a leak about what the smoking gun would be potentially that would prove some sort of conspiracy or coordination or collusion between Trump and the Russians. What exactly are you looking for at this point?
First of all, House Republicans found nothing because they wanted to find nothing because they work for President Trump. Let's be really clear about that. Devin Nunes and the House Intelligence Committee's Republicans work for Donald Trump. It's not a nonpartisan committee like it was for decades.
They work for the people
in the
who
70s
elected them.
for very important reasons. No, they work for Trump. He went at midnight to the White House, Nunes did, and then lied about what happened there. I'm not going to speculate about what the proof would look like. All I'm going to say is you can't yet say that Trump is guilty, but you certainly can't say yet that he's been proven innocent. He's innocent until proven guilty.
He's innocent until proven guilty,
says.
and that doesn't seem to be the standard
right.
anymore. Democrats are assuming that there's something that they are going to find on him. We have had investigations for 15 months. Adam Schiff, he's a Democrat. You can't accuse him of being buddy-buddy to President Trump here. He's a pretty harsh Trump critic. Even he has not come out and said that anything wrong was done by the Trump campaign in regards to coordinating with Russia. There's been no proof. Democrats aren't interested in waiting for the findings of these investigations because they've already drawn their mental conclusions. They're already using these as attack talking points before we actually have any proof of any wrongdoing. It's essentially just libel. It's just lies. There's no proof. Democrats don't even know what they're looking for at this point. They're just looking to propagate the investigation so that they can continue to use this talking point to attack Trump because they don't know what else to do. Ian, unfortunately, this is a short one today. We're out of time. Thanks for being here.